And we know that only one person so far has actually gone to prison over that whole scandal. It was Ghislaine Maxwell, the former lover of Jeffrey Epstein. No man so far has actually been put in prison as a result of what happened. Do you think by releasing information from these files, we are likely to see criminal actions being taken?
Absolutely.
Really?
I think it would be negligent for us not to. You have to hold individuals who are indeed rapists accountable. We have to have them tried, in my opinion. And I do believe in that. You know, nobody should be just dismissed. You have to have your time in court and your case will be heard. But to hide lists, to protect political friends, all of that, we don't have time for that.
There will be some people who say, OK, I totally agree with you. So why have the Tates been allowed to fly to the United States and avoid justice in Romania?
OK, so again, we're not the Justice Department in charge of the Tates.
OK. So Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, will be with Donald Trump today. He's announced this week dramatic increase in our defence spending as a direct result, I would say, of the pressure brought to bear by Donald Trump against all European countries to step up and pay more for defence. People are seeing this as a dramatic realignment of American relations, bringing Russia in from the cold, you know, whacking the Europeans, etc. How would you categorise it?
I think the president is a negotiator. He's going to talk to every single country. And this is really a blanket rule. He addressed this yesterday about China, if you listen to the cabinet meeting. President Trump is about a couple things: economy, peace through strength, and America first. And we have had a complete and utter disaster under the last administration where we have encouraged, funded, ad nauseum funding to countries like Ukraine, while our country is suffering. This is not a sympathizer issue. This is not a one country over another. This is a blanket policy of President Trump. He is going to exhibit and has exhibited peace through strength. These wars wouldn't have happened, and he is negotiating actively with all countries, and he will continue to do so.
Do you think that Russia started the war?
I'm not going to, I don't know the facts enough to speak to that. And frankly, the facts I do know are not something I would discuss on TV.
I mean, Alina, you are a brilliant lawyer. You obviously, I would imagine, have put your cursory brilliant eye over this war and who started it.
I think President Biden's negligence may have been part of the problem on why this started.
You don't think Russia invaded a sovereign democratic European country and started brutally murdering people?
I think that there were a lot of murders on both sides. And like I said, I wouldn't speak to details that I don't know of. I do not have intel. I have not been briefed on the Ukraine and Russia war. I see what you see, which is on TV, and I can see that both countries are at fault.
Do you think Zelensky is a dictator?
I think if you look historically at the fact that he hasn't been elected and he's held on to power, I don't think that's exactly a democratic party right there. That's not the way we operate in this
You're a
country.
lawyer, again, look, and I say this respectfully, but you're a lawyer. As you know, he was democratically elected in 2019. When it came up for the time there should be another election, they were under martial law in Ukraine, which specifically prohibits him holding another election. Also, 6 million Ukrainians have left the country as refugees. You have 20% of the country under Russian control. So the idea you could have a free democratic election in Ukraine right now for all those reasons is obviously unthinkable, right?
Well, Piers, let me ask you the question. Who do you think started the war?
Oh, Vladimir Putin started the war and he is a dictator.
Good. I am sitting in the White House. I speak for the president. And unlike you, I'm not a TV person that can just throw around things without being properly briefed on what actually happened. So as I sit here now in the executive office of the president, I'm going to decline any comment other than this war would never have happened if President Trump was sitting in that Oval Office. It never should have happened.
That might well be true.
And we will fix it.
That might well be true. I just don't think it's overly controversial to suggest that Vladimir Putin is a dictator or that he started the war. And I think that that's just something we should all just agree as we move forward.
Well, I'm not sitting here singing his praises, but I also know that we are in the middle of negotiating and we are trying to end a war, which is more important, frankly, than doing things like a TV hit where you just start accusing people and getting everybody into corners. That's not what I'm going to do. I am here to help President Trump finish this, wrap it up. And by me going on a show, frankly, the juice is not worth the squeeze for me to start hitting people hard when we are trying to bring everybody to the table. So all due respect to your position, I sit in the executive office of the president. President Trump will handle that the way he wants to, and I will not be inflating any wars here.
Final question. You're a mother of 3 kids. Cannot be easy for you to hold down one of the most pressurized, busy jobs, I imagine, in America and be a mum. How do you juggle it all?
I have the best family in the world. I have the greatest husband in the world. My children are a blessing. And amazingly enough, I go home and I see my children every weekend and I ask them a very simple question. Do you want mommy to come home? Because I will. And if they need me to come home, I am there for them. And if they want me to quit, I will, because they are number one. But I will tell you this. Every time I ask that question, my children say the same thing. Mommy, you have to save America.
What a brilliant answer. Alina, Habba, lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Nice to talk to you. Thank you.